Not.
Now.
And we are live?
Yes, we're live.
We are live. That is awesome. Hello, everybody. My name is Jonathan Harmon with the J Harmon Home Team, powered by Keller Williams. Got my friend Trent Denson, producer Trent, over there just stuck a cookie in his mouth that our guest brought, and he very quickly reached up and snatched the cookie out of his own. It was a thing of beauty, y'all.
Good to be here.
Yeah, you can eat the cookie again. I won't mess with it anymore.
I'll do it later.
Yep. It's a delicious cookie though. But before we introduce the guest real quick, couple of notes of housekeeping. First of all, Trent has completely rearranged and renovated this studio, and I gotta say, man, this looks great.
Yes, thank you.
I can't wait to see it. You didn't actually have to talk, but
Thank you.
yeah, I can't wait to see it on camera as well. But I'm sure it's gonna look great.
Can I give a quick shout out?
Yeah, of course.
Got to give a shout out to Tom Golly with To the Moon Creative, another podcast studio in town. But we're going to be collaborating on a lot of stuff. And
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Wait.
Taking it from amateurhour.com to pretty legit. So yeah,
there it is. Okay,
shouts to Tom. Thank you.
That's
much.
right. All right, and we're going to give of course, our other shout out to Mr. Bryan Nale of First Horizon Mortgage. Bryan is the underwriting sponsor for this particular podcast, and we love us some Bryan Nale.
Thank you, Brian.
I actually sat down and had a meeting with him yesterday, and we've got some pretty cool collaboration things coming really soon. So if you need a mortgage, hit up my friend Bryan Nale. If you need his number, hit me up and I'll get it to you. But without further ado, I've got two of my friends here, and Alberto walked in and I was like, where's the green headband? And Melody was like, it's right here. And I was like, that's good, because I didn't hardly recognize him. It's like seeing Brett Garner without a visor. It's weird. But anyway, so Alberto and Melody Villalobos, I know you from all kinds of different places, but today, in today's capacity, you guys are here representing your business, which is Mission Tacos.
Yep.
Which happens to be one of the favorite food trucks here at Cedar Glade Brews. So every time we see that come up on the board and we get excited, we type about it in our Facebook stories and whatnot, people are excited. They love the food that you guys make, and they love the service that they get from you guys. So we're going to learn a lot about that, but I also want to learn a little bit about the other stuff that you got going on. You got some cool stuff going on. Y'all are just cool people. That's just what it's all about.
Cool or busy, one of the two.
I mean, usually the cool people are fairly busy, because they're doing cool stuff. Yeah. And that's you guys. So let's talk about the stuff not Mission Tacos first, because that's a big one. I want to definitely dwell on that. So I met Melody first, and I met Melody when I was working with Carpe Artista.
Yes.
And Melody, what do you do for Carpe?
I am currently the Academy Director, just in charge of making the Academy run. So promoting music, student lessons and art lessons and all the theater things, working with some amazing professional teachers, just promoting classes and keeping that building going.
Sure. So let's catch the audience up. If you're not familiar with Carpe Artista, so there's Carpe Artista and there's Carpe Cafe, and they are together. But the mission of Carpe is to what?
Oh gosh, Ron's gonna watch this and he's gonna get me.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'm in so much trouble.
Basically, it's to promote the arts in Rutherford County.
Yes,
specifically.
That's the short version.
And it's growing.
Yes,
of course.
And growing a lot.
and it started kind of as a collaboration between a few really cool people. One of which has been on the show before, Miss Susan.
Yes,
and she's awesome. She had the pink hair, whoosh, like that. Yep. And basically the idea was there's just not enough, I guess, selfless promotion just of art for art's sake, especially in northern Rutherford County.
No.
And so they said, well, this is something we can work on. Talented in all kinds of different arts between Ron and Susan and the people that kind of traveled around them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were doing.
Not me.
Me neither. I tried taking lessons through that from Jeff Butterworth, and that dude, he is an incredible guitar player.
He can play anything.
I can play the guitar about like this table can play guitar, badly. I
Okay.
can't is the answer
Oh,
to
okay.
that. And but for a long time,
Mhm.
the lessons were all over the place. Like there were
Yes.
some at some churches, there were some at the
Literally
cafe.
closets and yes.
Dude, they were
craziness.
everywhere.
Yes.
And a few years back, actually, like the day
The day before,
the lockdown started,
April 12th, 2020.
a day that will live in infamy,
Man.
the academy opened.
Yes.
So tell us about the academy.
So the academy has multiple teaching rooms for private and group instruction.
10 rooms, is that right?
Yeah, let's say 10.
4,
There's
2.
5, 6, 7, 8 right now that we're using.
Okay.
We share the space with Christ Community Church. And so they're using some rooms for their classrooms as well. And then we have 5 music studios right now. We have baby grand in the first one and drum room in the last one. So, I mean, you can just do anything in those 5 rooms. Violin lessons all the way through. It gets really noisy in there on Tuesday nights. So,
That's awesome.
and then the other hallway, we have a art studio, which is actually 2 rooms, big room, and just Larissa's in there with students, doing all the art forms. So she teaches the art that they want to learn. So if you come to us wanting sketch, she can teach you sketch. If you want to learn acrylic painting or any of those things, she can teach to your level, which is just fantastic. And then we have different clubs throughout the week that are meeting with art club meets on, oh my goodness, Tuesday mornings. And that's a student-led club that we're starting more of the small group clubs like that, where students, they're picking what they're doing, and then we have an instructor there to kind of guide them through the process. So that's kind of an independent learning. We have a theater group that's doing the same thing.
So since you share a space with the church, there's an auditorium as well. So there is
Yeah.
performance space.
Yeah.
And then of course, when the productions get a little larger, there's still churches and
we have a
various
great
other
partnership
places.
with Life Point Church, and like next weekend, the 29th, we're doing Susical with a pretty large cast. I think there's 33 in that cast.
That's a fun play, by the way.
So it's Susical Junior. So you can go to the Carpe website, buy tickets. But shameless plug there for that show. I'm excited about that one, just to see how the kids have, done it, because I have not seen it yet.
Well, what's cool about that is if you have a student that's in vocal performance, or you have a student that's in stage performance, or you have a student that's in set design, or you have a student that's just in painting and, art in that way. When you have a production like that, you bring all of them together. You bring all of them in to work on that. Thank you, Trent.
Right.
And
that's kind of what we focus on during our summer camps. So there's a really unique camp that's happening in the summer, where one week the art students are creating the sets and props for the show that will happen the next week, which is James and the Giant Peach. So
we were just talking about Roald Dahl.
In theory, a student could come to the art camp and be a part of creating the set, and then also be in the play where they created those things. But it's really good because I love it. We did it last year with Moana. But the art students then get to see their pieces in action during the show.
That's cool.
It's just really cool.
So that's how I got to know you, and we had a good friendships from then. But then I also got to meet your husband because of that. And this is one cool dude right here. So you're a teacher.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for 9 years.
Yes.
How do you feel about that, Alberto?
Well, we tend to socialize in the hallways as teachers. And just today, we have a teacher that started last year, and she was like talking about a teacher that had just left previously before her. And I was like, wait a second, when did you graduate? She was like, oh, 2014. And I was like,
what?
I was already a teacher. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
So it's interesting seeing the
but you teach culinary.
Yeah, I do culinary arts.
And you guys just competed, right?
Yep. Just did a competition this past week. It was individual based competitions in Chattanooga, and I had a student compete in culinary arts and one in commercial baking, where they pretty much get between 3 to 4 hours, and they have to produce a certain amount of things using certain skills. And both students actually placed in third.
Nice.
Not bad. And they each got a $4,000 scholarship from that. So
even better.
That's
That's
pretty
fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah.
So, and it's cool because that, I don't know what you call it. That industry has gotten so much attention lately with all the fun shows. What's the one with the 3 levels in the basement, and you gotta.
That's the new one. I haven't actually watched that one.
I watched one. I was so confused during that. There was like this thing that went up and down.
Yeah, they have to work their way up the levels and whatnot.
Yeah. Don't forget a plate. And I mean, I don't know, whatever it was. I was very confused. I was entertained, but I was confused. So you do that. And you have a couple of other hats that you wear as well. You help out with the cafe, right?
Yeah. At Carpet Cafe, been helping out recently with the lunch and the economic turn from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
There were just certain things that they needed help with, and I kind of went in there and started helping them move things around. And over the summer, I'm supposed to be going back in and helping them figure out a few processes, make things smoother. Just trying to help them adjust to the new after COVID, I guess you'd say.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
Well, and so let's talk about Carpe Cafe for a second, because it's a really cool story how that all kind of evolved. And I went to Carpe Cafe for a long time before I really knew what it actually is. And yes, it's a cafe. They have great coffee. They have great that barbecue chicken sandwich is ridiculously good. Tell me it's not off the menu. You just looked at me like
it's off the menu.
Oh man! But so fine. The broccoli salad, it's still on.
No,
the
that's
menu.
on.
Okay,
good. That's a good one.
That stuff's delicious too. But
There's
anyway,
some really cool new things you should go try.
All right. Full confession, it's been a little bit since I've been there. So,
okay.
So I just thought it was kind of a cool cafe, especially at the beginning, and I guess it still happens. You'd see kids that would come in and they would work, and you would talk to them, and they're all artists, and they take lessons, and they do this and they do that. And what I found out is that kind of works together, doesn't it?
It does. It works really well. We kind of joke that the cafe is the face of Carpe.
I've heard Ron call it the front porch.
Yeah, it's the front porch. He's so much better at talking Carpe than I am. I'm still learning.
That's okay.
It's a great conversational place for creatives in general, of any age,
or non-creatives,
like that me. Just like food, like me. Yeah,
it's a good place to meet clients. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I love the atmosphere there. I love, when we talk to new people about Carpe or we're just getting to know them, I always love to meet them there. Because it really is a good representation of what Carpe is. And
there's student work all over the place. Yeah. Which is very cool. And I mean, some of that stuff is all of the stuff that's up on the walls is just gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah. And a lot of it's for sale. So we partner with local artists to display their art. And you can go in and buy pieces if you're trying to redecorate your house. But we try to also rotate through those artists as well. There's local artisans that have jewelry and leather work and things there now that is for sale. And it's just a great place for you to touch it, feel it, see it in person. You
just can't get that from Etsy.
You really can't. And it's fun. I love sitting there in the front window, not watching the traffic circle, but
oh my gosh,
looking at people just peruse the art.
Watch the traffic circle though, because sometimes it's super entertaining.
It is.
You're sitting
actually
there going,
have a rule that when I'm there for a meeting, I have to have my back to the window because I will sit there and go, oh, dude.
I have seen people go the wrong way on that thing so many times.
And literally.
Like, what are you doing? There's a sign. It's got arrows. But all right, so let's go back in time just a little bit. You guys are doing your thing. You're teaching. You're working for Carpe, and walk me through how this all started. You go, man, I think we should add something else to our plate and start a business. Is that about right?
No, that's not actually
good. Then tell me the story.
Our background starts being Christian based. We both have been on mission trips. Love doing mission trips. We both work with nonprofits. I am very much an entrepreneurial spirit. I have ideas and I want to implement ideas.
And
Sure.
I'm here
So
to control those ideas.
She's the balance. But
Because it's the process of creation, isn't it?
Yes.
You're just like, you got to do it.
yes,
Yeah, I feel you.
But we also, being the entrepreneurial spirit, wanted to do something that would help others as well. And because we both work for nonprofits, we both love mission trips. We said, let's do something that helps them raise funds.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I love tacos. You like tacos.
Everybody loves tacos.
Everybody loves tacos.
Tacos are a way of life.
And the little submission there is that not enough people know about authentic tacos.
I hear you. Okay,
So-
keep going.
so-
You're talking to my soul right
Exactly. So my thing was twofold. It's like, let's help people out, but let's also introduce people to something that they're not 100% accustomed to.
now. The real deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest thing. I stick to authentic flavors, and people are always like, "Oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that?" And I'm like, because that's not authentic.
Because that's American.
Yes. All right. If you want me to put cheese on a taco, it's not gonna happen. But I'll bend and do the nouveau, I guess you'd say, taco. So we do the queso taco.
Yeah.
But through that, we were like, all right, cool. Let's do Mission Tacos. And we started out of a little pop-up tent. It was on my heart. I was not going to go
like
into
2
debt.
hours to set up in my driveway one time.
Yes.
I'm like, man, y'all, this is a lot of work that you're doing just to
And there
get
was
set
planning
up.
before that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am certain
So-
that there was.
But we were determined not to go into debt for it. So I went and bought like the biggest griddle I could afford.
Mhm.
Outdoor griddle.
That was his Father's Day gift
It
in
really was.
2019.
We started this with my Father's Day gift.
That's awesome.
Pop-up tent.
Might as well.
And we started out of the back of my truck. We load, unload,
Yeah.
Excuse me.
do farmers market in Smyrna, little events, a couple of caterings here and there. Did that all 2019, 2020, of course, COVID. So we did a little bit more of that. And we were fortunate enough last year to be able to purchase a food trailer.
Mhm.
And through the food trailer, we were able to, first of all, save our backs. Because honestly, lugging everything up and down.
It was harder work to set up than it was to cook.
Yes.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So we got the trailer, and that's kind of where we're at now. But the main purpose of Mission Tacos is helping nonprofits fund their missions through authentic tacos.
So how do you do that? So walk me
Um,
through that process. What does that look like?
So it took a while to figure out the correct formula for us. What would
Sure.
work the best, and what would be the easiest time-wise to be able to figure out. So right now we're doing 10% of all our sales. So doesn't matter what, but all of our sales, 10% goes directly to a nonprofit. And then the way we figure that out is we partner up with different nonprofits every month. So might be 1 or 2, maybe 3 nonprofits that we partner up with. And at the end of the month, we take the 10% and we divide it up between those.
You
nonprofits.
essentially pick groups and you tithe. That is
Yes.
biblically, it's a
Basically,
tithe.
Yes. I guess a biblical tithe. But it was the easiest way for us to do it. And also it allows us that now that we're growing, we do have a couple of regular employees and we're able to pay them a decent wage.
Well, and so here's the thing, and as you meet more entrepreneurs and as you talk to entrepreneurs, there's a few things that you start to realize, and you just hit on this, is that your mission to help a nonprofit, okay, but you also serve a mission in employing people,
Mhm.
right? And you have an obligation now to them,
Yep.
right? And you serve a mission in supporting your family, right? So you have multiple missions that you're supporting, and I think that's what people don't really think about all the time with small businesses. It's not just, oh, you're a business owner, so you're
Mhm.
rich. Well,
Yeah.
no,
No.
definitely not. But do I want to make a decent living? Sure. But I'm also helping to provide jobs for other people, and I'm supporting all kinds of other things right here.
Right.
Yep. And when we did start the business, we said, our goal is not to get rich. Never was, never will be. If it ends up being that, then it'll help us bless other people.
That's it.
Besides that, we're just trying to survive and help as many people as we can while we're doing it. So
and you do a heck of a job of it. You help me every single time you set up here at Cedar Glade. You help me get my belly full, and it is awesome.
Well, and something interesting about the people that we are working with on the truck, he's specifically searching for people who want to learn more about the food truck business or are entrepreneurs themselves, just trying
planting
to
seeds,
being in the restaurant business. Go with that. Yeah, I'm saying that I'm not good at talking.
No, you're doing
whatever.
You're doing better than me.
Words are hard.
Whatever.
But being a teacher, I love doing the mentoring.
Mm-hmm.
I love being a mentor. And I've realized
Harry Potter fans, he did not say dumb mentor.
Dumb.
No.
Yeah.
I realized that I have that entrepreneurial spirit that could help other people, because I've tried my hand at so many little businesses and endeavors that have gone nowhere. This is the first time that something's truly come of it, because I think it's mainly because it wasn't done with the purpose of being rich.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Your heart was right.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So now I see, hey, I have that spirit. I have some of that knowledge. Maybe it's time for me to start mentoring others.
Yeah.
So my goal is to help mentor people that would want to go into the food business, whether it be food trailer, small restaurant, whatever it be. And my goal is to find those people, give them some of that knowledge, some of the tools, and help them kind of move on in their journey for that.
Sure. Get their feet wet a little bit.
Yes.
Right. And so I know, like, when you bring folks on, I've heard you talking to them, and you don't just say, take their order and run the food in. Like, you're talking to them about the business, not just, the mechanical, easy stuff, right? The work. You're talking about food costs. You're talking about all kinds of stuff to actually give them some insight into the whole picture of what's going on.
Yep. Yeah. Well, you as a small business owner, that, the biggest failure for small business owners is not really knowing what they're getting themselves into.
100%.
So if you're wanting to go into business,
very quickly over your head,
we got to be honest with each other. We have to be honest with anybody trying to go into business that we're trying to mentor, and let them know, hey, it's not all, rainbows and sunshine here.
No.
You got your cloudy days, and you got days that you're going to have to ask for help rowing that boat.
And sometimes those clouds are raining fire down, and they're like setting the fields on fire, and houses are burning, and it's terrible.
Yeah. Kind of like when you buy a food trailer and you forget to drain out the ice before it freezes over, and you lose a water heater and a water pump, and then you're stuck like trying to figure out, okay, where do I get the parts?
Some random dude shows up with a pump
to your house, like, hey, I need you to set up, so here's a pump.
Yeah, I need you at my place tomorrow. Here's a pump.
Exactly.
That happened.
That was a great day.
Yeah,
it was pretty awesome.
And then I stepped in a puddle and my foot was soaking wet walking out of your driveway. It was terrible.
That's another story.
Yeah, for sure. But I was smiling because I was like, he's still going to be there. And
he did.
Yeah. I did.
That's right.
Yes.
So, but, so I want to keep being able to mentor people, but show them the real world.
Yeah.
Show them the real face of entrepreneurship, which can be super rewarding.
But it's not without its challenges. So it's good to give them that. What they used to call those RJPs, realistic job previews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a fancy word. I never heard that.
You're welcome. I was in HR for a little while.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
makes sense.
Yeah. So let's talk about the food truck a little bit and the recipes, because you hit on something that I haven't really heard you talk too much about before in all of our conversations, and that is that authentic recipe, those authentic dishes. First of all, what's your background for that? And then second of all, where did you get your recipes and all that kind of stuff?
I mean,
I don't make assumptions. Okay.
I appreciate that, but
hey, I thought he was Hawaiian, so it's okay.
She did. No, I was born in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I came to the U.S. when I was 6.
It's your story, dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
We were
I
hoping
had
you
to think
knew.
about how old I was. I was 6 when I came over. Been raised here most of my life. We've lived in Smyrna, Laverne, Middle Tennessee area since 97.
Okay.
So we've been here for a while. And in the household, it was always Spanish. It was always, the food that my mom was raised with.
Mhm.
And those are the flavors that we know. Those are the flavors that we love. And those are the flavors that aren't in your Mexican food in the US.
Yes.
People are starting to get a lot more braver now. If you go to Nashville, people are very brave. There's a lot of authenticness in Nashville now. When we first moved here, not so much. But it's still
you weren't finding lingua very often, were you?
Exactly. But in Rutherford County, that community is starting to grow. But I want to be that person that bridges everybody together so that hey, these are the real flavors. Actually, I'm going to say this because as a business owner, people need to know. The other day I perused through different groups on social media. Like I do my work as a small business owner to make sure, I have good comments, good repertoire with clients. People know who we are. And I saw a comment that said, on a social media group that said the birria tacos aren't any good.
I saw that comment and I saw your reply.
I know. I'm really hard as a business owner. It's hard to not be like, but that's not how it is.
Yeah. Come on. What are you, stupid?
So, but for me, it was like a teaching moment. It's like people don't know.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that people know are what they hear through social media nowadays.
Sure.
And so I was like, okay, well, this is what birria is, which is just beef that's braised in a broth made with chilies.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, yours is delicious. She was flat wrong. I'm just telling you.
But what people are used to now are the quesadilla, which are like the cheesy tacos that you dip in the broth and all that. And so it was a teaching moment for me of, hey, this is what it is. Next time order this, and it'll be a lot better kind of scenario.
If you made that comment, come to Cedar Glade next time he sets up and I'll buy you the right tacos.
Hey, I'll buy them the right tacos. Perfect. Like I will get them the right tacos. But it's one of those things of people don't quite know because all they know is social media or what their friends tell them. So my goal is to teach you, hey, these are the real flavors. In town, the only way you're going to get real flavors is usually if you go to some of the Latin markets or Hispanic markets in town.
Shout out to La Esquina.
We're just talking about all that stuff, actually. But besides that, like when you go to your Mexican restaurants, not being mean, but Mexican restaurants are Tex-Mex.
Right.
They're Americanized Mexican food.
Right.
They'll give you a taste of some of the real flavors, but not really.
So, what was I going to ask you? Oh, let's talk chorizo for a second.
Yes.
Because y'all's friggin' chorizo is out of this world. Do you make it?
No. I actually...
Can you reveal your source?
I want to reveal our
He
source.
said no. That look says no.
I want to, but I don't want to.
We don't want to lose our opportunity to buy from our source.
No, I understand.
It
My
is
source is you, so that's.
It does come from one of the local markets.
Do they make it?
They make it.
Okay.
They make it. They have a butcher shop in house, traditional Hispanic butcher shop. So they make all their chorizo and stuff fresh. And I go and buy from them, 10, 20 pounds at a time, literally.
Dude, that stuff is so good.
But I can make my own, and the one I make is good.
It is.
But there's something about theirs that I don't know. I don't know if it's like the tang, the extra spices. I don't know what it is, but there's something about theirs that's so much better.
Man.
So it's
but you cook it perfect too, because you get that little crusty thing going on top. I mean, dude.
I try to make sure that we get a little bit of that like crusty sausage because some people love that crispy sausage. That's kind of what it gives you.
I am starving right now. tell me the trailer's out there, right?
No.
Oh,
no.
Too bad.
Not. Sorry about that.
We brought cookies.
You did. They were delicious too.
But I think it's one of those things that if you can buy local and support another business, and it's better than what you can make, why not use it?
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it's still very much 100% authentic and sticks to what we're doing. So we're 100% for it.
All right, so we're getting close to time here. What is the biggest misconception about Mexican food that you want to fix?
Flour tortilla tacos.
Talk to
Okay.
me, because I think we're on the same page here. Lacey, if you're listening, I need you to hear this.
Your Taco Bell style tacos, the tacos with the ground beef, the lettuce, the cheese, and the tomato, is not a real. It's a taco by default, but only by default. But that is not the real flavors. The real flavors tend to be very clean, subtle, and every now and then you got your hints of spice and a couple extra things. But it's not what you envision of your, low flour Taco Bell taco.
All right, so are you flour or corn tortillas?
Corn.
100% of the time?
No. The only time flour comes into play is for breakfast tacos.
Oh, and I thought you were going to say burritos.
Nope. We do breakfast tacos when we do farmers market, because we set up at 8 o'clock in the morning. We set up at 8 o'clock in the morning, so we do breakfast tacos, and those we do traditional flour tortillas. And the tortillas that I source, everybody's always like, "Oh, are they handmade?" I'm like,
I mean, hands made it.
Yeah, hands made it. But that's the only time, and that is actually very traditional for breakfast tacos.
Yeah.
Especially if you go to the northern states in Mexico, you'll have a lot of flour tortillas all over the place.
So when I was born in South Texas, right on the border, and we had several Mexican restaurants in this little bitty town that we lived in that did breakfast, and they would make flour tortillas. I kid you not, they were like the size of hubcaps. They were giant.
Yep.
And they would fill it with eggs and potatoes and different meat and just roll it. And I mean, you'd have a burrito that was, it was as big as my arm.
Yeah, a foot long burrito,
dude. It was huge, man. Anyway,
but
no one here does that. No one makes the flour tortillas fresh right there in the restaurant.
Nope. And it's more of a time constraint than anything.
Sure. What's a skill?
Yes. Because even me, I'm still trying to perfect making my own. We actually have a friend of ours that makes some, and man, every time she makes them and brings them to family gatherings or whatever, they're the first thing that's gone.
I was gonna say they're gone.
And like my sisters and I will go and like get extra, put them in Ziploc baggies, and like go hide them in the back of the fridge so nobody gets them. that good. And I still can't get her like recipe right.
Yeah.
No matter how hard I try. And this is coming from a chef, so I mean,
it's love. You don't love it enough, Alberto.
Dang it.
All right, so here's another question for you. Is a taco a sandwich?
Technically, yes. Yes. We were just literally with one of my classes, we're just now talking.
A very defeated, yes.
Yes, it was. Like
we're just now.
I felt the pain off of that.
Well,
is a molita a sandwich? I'll agree.
Technically, a sandwich has bread, which tortillas are bread.
This is his chef.
Has some sort of spread, and has a filling. So if your sauce is your spread, and then you got a filling, you got bread. It's a sandwich.
Reluctantly, yes, he admits that it's a sandwich.
Yes. Well, you're taking like a cultural thing for Mexicans, like tacos. It's very much a cultural thing, and you're not trying to be mean, but you're demeaning it or bringing it down to a sandwich level. So you're like, it's like the holy grail of Mexican food.
Yeah.
Being brought down to
a sandwich.
Because when I think sandwich, I think like the ham sandwich your mom packed in your lunchbox, right. That had that ham and piece of cheese.
So while we're on that note, all right, here we go. This is the last one. Okay. These are conversations I have with my kids, just so you know. Is a hot dog in a bun a sandwich?
Yes.
Yes. Is a hot dog in a bun a type of taco?
I'm done.
Maybe I'll have a bun.
I think if
see where I'm going with this?
I think if it's a flatbread, yes.
Well, it's a bun. It's split. It goes around it.
But I think the thing with a taco, it's got to be a flatbread.
And then you fold it.
So like a pita sandwich, that would technically be a taco because it's a flatbread.
There you go. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen,
so.
From an expert. Man, I love y'all, and I appreciate all that you do, and I appreciate the mission, literally, that you guys have with your business and the way that you treat people all the time. And you guys are examples to be followed, and I appreciate our friendship and everything that you do for us. So Watch our social media. I should have looked this up. I don't know off the top of my head the next date that you guys are at Cedar Glade. Do you?
Next date it's next week.
Next week.
Yep.
Come get tacos, real tacos. Order correctly.
And ask us. Feel free to ask us.
Go.
Like, just ask. Like, which one's the right one?
Yes.
And
I want this, and this.
Yep. And we'll gladly point you in the right direction. Just don't ask for lettuce. Just don't ask for lettuce.
And get the chorizo. Yes, definitely get the chorizo. Appreciate you guys very much. And if you need help with real estate, give me a call. If you need help with a mortgage, give my friend Bryan Nale over at First Horizon. I almost said it, but I didn't. At First Horizon a call. If you have a story to tell, you need to talk to Trent Denson over here with Spread the Positive. He is in the storytelling business, and we would love a chance to hear your story and to tell your story for you. And then also, if you're interested in supporting the Spread the Positive mission, there's this giant QR code here that you can scan, or you can give us a call and talk about sponsoring or underwriting some shows. You got anything else, Trent?
Oh, that was it. Thank you. This was an awesome episode.
Aren't these guys great?
Yeah, that was great. That was really fun.
All right,
stuff, y'all.
You guys have a great rest of the week. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.